Watching Your Money, joining me right now is Capital Wealth Planning Advisory Board member and SOT Strategy founder, Jeff Sott. ERShares CEO Joel Shulman is here, and Hilltop Securities Head of Research and Analytics, Tom Kozlik. Great to see you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. We so appreciate it. Joel, kicking things off with you. With a market that is higher this morning, rebounding from yesterday's volatility, your thoughts on where to position yourself and allocate capital with the S&P 500 in correction territory and the Dow seeing the lowest close in about 8 months yesterday because of these geopolitical tensions?
Right. Well, I mean, we're going to see choppy markets, throughout this week and through March, as the Fed's still, grappling with rising interest rates, rising inflation, and certainly the issues in Eastern Europe aren't going to help. And we've got to remember from a macro perspective, while the problems in Eastern Europe are troubling, interest rates and inflation are more significant to the U.S. markets than that issue. And in fact, China, Taiwan, the distractions that may be happening in Eastern Europe are less concerned than what can potentially happen in China and Taiwan. I mean, we've got to remember, Russia's primarily an oil exporter. 63% of their economy exports oil, and Ukraine is primarily the breadbasket of Europe, so they're primarily exporting wheat and corn to Europe and China. So we've got to remember the U.S. is primarily, we used to be a net exporter of oil, 2020 and 2021. We're now importing a little bit, but we're pretty much self-sufficient there. We're pretty much self-sufficient when it comes to agriculture. So the impact of these issues in Eastern Europe are really more from an inflationary concern. They're going to help push up the oil prices, as you just talked about, Maria, that oil's approaching 100 and it may go up further beyond to 120 plus. So that's going to have an effect on our inflation and our markets. That's going to push up our interest rates, and that's going to be the true effect. The market's bouncing around a little bit. We're going to see it continue to bounce, but pretty soon when the distractions in Eastern Europe hopefully subside, we're going to put all eyes back on inflation and interest rates. That's really what's driving our markets. So investors have to be careful about getting. Go ahead.
Yeah, oil is a very important part of the inflation story, and oil prices are up. Yeah. All right, Joel, did you want to jump in?
Well, I mean, there are a number of great companies here in the U.S. that address cybersecurity. So, I mean, if you want me to name a few, Cloudflare, CrowdStrike, Fortinet. Sure. I mean, there are a number of great companies, and they take care of a lot of these issues. And so we saw during the COVID era that cybersecurity became an issue because people became more exposed working from home. We're going to see this bubble up again as a major issue. Cybersecurity is one of the biggest problems we've had emerge in the last few years, and it's with Russia and everything else that's going on, it's only going to continue.
Yeah, that Colonial Pipeline one was a disaster in the last year, and people are wondering why there wasn't much of a response to that. Jeff Sott, Joel Shulman, Tom Kozlik, great to see you all, gentlemen. Thank you. Have a great day, and we appreciate your time.